Before this video starts, I would like to say that I do not hate Andrew or anyone that believes that Andrew is the vengeful spirit. And with that, let's get this started. Andrew does not die by William or any other killer's hands. He dies by Fetch. The kid you play as in the Fetch minigame may be Greg, but the problem with that is that Greg never had black hair. The closest color of hair that Greg has had that's closest to black is brown, which is nowhere near black, right? So that means that the kid that you play as in the Fetch minigame is Andrew, which, he can still hate William either way, right? But that's not it. In Into the Pit the game, there are 3 minigames, 2 of which mimic the first Fazbear's Fright Boat. The main game is Into the Pit. The first minigame is To Be Beautiful, and the second minigame is Count the Ways. Did you have Fetch? Fetch makes no sense, considering the next Mega Cat Studios game is most likely going to be Fetch. So why is there a Fetch minigame in this game? It's either 3 things. 1, Fetch isn't the next game, which helps the kid being Andrew even more, because that means that the book version is canon, which means that the person who went through Fetch is Greg, and that this kid is completely different. 2, it's to set up the villain of the next Mega Cat Studios game, which would be Fetch, of Andrew possessing Fetch. Or 3, confirming that Andrew was not a part of the MCI and was either killed before or after the MCI, considering the Golden Freddy is already possessed. In Help Wanted 2, to get the canon ending, you have to collect 6 plushies: a Gabriel plush, a Charlie plush, a Jeremy plush, a Susie plush, a Golden Freddy plush, and a Fritz plush. If Andrew is supposed to be Golden Freddy, then where's Cassidy's plushie? Cassidy exists in the lore and in the timeline. They exist. And if Golden Freddy is Cassidy, then where's Andrew's plushie? And if Andrew was a part of the MCI, then where's his plushie? Because he's not a part of the MCI. Sure, Charlie gets a plush, and she wasn't a part of the MCI, but she's an important character because she stuffed the MCI into the animatronics. But Andrew doesn't get a plushie because he's not a part of the MCI, because he's not the one you shouldn't have killed, because he's not the vengeful spirit, and if he was, then why doesn't he appear in the game? Help Wanted 2 came out in 2023. Andrew first appeared in 2019. There is 3 years that Steelwool could have added a plushie with an alligator mask in the room with Princess Quest or something. If you want to take away a couple years because of security breach, they still had 1 more year, being 2022, to add a small little plushie. In conclusion, I'm not hating on the idea of Andrew being the vengeful spirit. If Scott changed his mind on Cassidy being the 5th victim and completely gets rid of their character, fine. It's completely fine. I don't care. I like the idea of Andrew, being the vengeful spirit. I think it's a cool idea, but I just don't like the idea of overriding one character's personality and character arc so it can be changed for a character that people like better. That's not how you write, a story. Right? You can't just set up a character, right, as this one thing for 5 years in 2019, and then all of a sudden have a book for this other random character is the person that you've been setting up as another character.